Now you see why it is important that you recognize that all success begins with definiteness of purpose, with a clear picture in your mind of precisely what you want from life. Then Mr. Carnegie continued his speech with a description of a great universal truth which made such an impact upon my mind that I began then and there to give myself a new outlook on life, and I set up for myself a goal so far above my previous achievements that it shocked my friends and relatives when they heard about it. Everyone, said Mr. Carnegie, comes to the earth plane blessed with the privilege of controlling his mind power and directing it to whatever ends he may choose. But, he continued, everyone brings over with him at birth the equivalent of 2 sealed envelopes, one of which is clearly labeled, the riches you may enjoy if you take possession of your own mind and direct it to ends of your own choice. And the other is labeled, the penalties you must pay if you neglect to take possession of your mind and direct it. And now let me reveal to you, said Mr. Carnegie, the contents of those 2 sealed envelopes. In the one labeled riches is this list of blessings. 1, sound health. 2, peace of mind. 3, a labor of love of your own choice. 4, freedom from fear and worry. 5, a positive mental attitude. 6, material riches of your own choice and quantity. In the sealed envelope labeled penalties, Mr. Carnegie continued, is this list of the prices one must pay for neglecting to take possession of his own mind. 1, ill health. 2, fear and worry. 3, indecision and doubt. 4, frustration and discouragement throughout life. 5, poverty and want. 6, and a whole flock of evils consisting of envy, greed, jealousy, anger, hatred, and superstition. Now, my mission in life is to help you and everyone who needs my help to open up and use the contents of the sealed envelope labeled riches. And the starting point from which you must take off if you wish to write your own ticket from here on out for the remainder of your life, I will describe for you in these simple instructions. 1, procure a neat pocket-sized notebook, or something on the order of this one here, loose leaflet there. And on page 1, write down a clear description of your major desire in life. The one circumstance or position or thing which you will be willing to accept as your idea of success. And remember before you begin writing that your only limitations are those which you set up in your own mind or permit others to set up for you. And 2, on page 2 of your notebook, write down a clear statement of precisely what you intend to give in return for that which you desire from life. And then start in right where you stand now to begin giving. And 3, memorize both of your statements, what you desire and what you intend to give in return for it, and repeat them at least a dozen times daily. And always end your statements with this expression of gratitude for the blessings with which you were gifted at birth. I ask not, O divine providence, for more riches, but more wisdom with which to accept and use wisely the riches I received at birth in the form of the power to control and direct my mind to whatever ends I desire. If you are not too successful or self-satisfied to accept and express this profound prayer, if you accept it and express it in the same spirit of humble sincerity in which I pass it on to you, a new and a better world will reveal itself to you. A world in which you will see reflected the circumstances and the things which you yourself have created. In my next visit, I will give you a description of the second principle of success, through the application of which you may make use of the education and experience of other people, and get the necessary help you may need in attaining your definite major purpose in life. And now, let me close this, our first visit, with my favorite expression of gratitude. O divine providence, I ask not for more riches, but more wisdom with which to make wiser use of the riches you gave me at birth, consisting in the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever ends I desire. We come now to the second of the 17 principles which lead to the master key with which you may open the door to the attainment of your definite major purpose in life. This principle of success is called the mastermind principle. I want you to understand the nature of the mastermind principle because you must use it before you can take possession of the master key. An understandable definition of the mastermind is this. It consists of two or more people who work in perfect harmony for the attainment of a definite purpose. Now, here are some interesting facts about the mastermind which give you an idea of how important it is and how necessary that you embrace this principle and make use of it in attaining success in your chosen occupation. First of all, it is the principle through which you may borrow and use the education, the experience, the influence, and perhaps the capital of other people in carrying out your own plans in life. It is the principle through which you can accomplish in 1 year more than you could accomplish without it in a lifetime if you depended entirely upon your own efforts for success. And I have heard well-informed Bible students say that the first known application of the mastermind was that which existed between the Nazarene and his 12 disciples. Of one fact I am absolutely sure. When you form a true mastermind alliance with others and work with them in a spirit of perfect harmony, you can draw freely upon the spiritual forces within you in carrying out your plans and desires.
When Napoleon Hill finishes his message, he leaves a silent question hanging in the air. What are you doing with the power you already have? Most people don't even realize they have that power. They wake up, follow the same routine, complain about life, and go back to sleep, never challenging themselves, never stopping to clearly write down what they truly want from life. But here's the truth. You were born with everything you need to succeed. The problem is, almost no one is taught how to use this inner force. Your mind is like a powerful engine, but it needs direction and the right fuel. Without it, it just spins in circles, feeding doubt, fear, and mental poverty, which eventually becomes financial poverty. Hill spoke of two envelopes, one filled with blessings, the other with consequences. And he made it clear, you are the one who chooses which envelope to open. That's more than a metaphor, it's a mirror of real life. Every small decision you make today is a vote for the life you'll have tomorrow. So why do so many people keep choosing the wrong envelope? It's simple. They never stop to reflect. They don't write down their goals. They don't clearly declare, even to themselves, what they're willing to give in return. And they live hoping things will change, without changing anything at all. Here's a practical challenge. Grab a notebook or your phone right now and write down what you truly want to achieve financially. Be specific. Then write down what you're willing to give in return. Effort, time, focus, learning. Do it now, before your brain slips back into autopilot. And if you believe you deserve more from life, more freedom, more control, more growth, then this video was made for you. Because what you'll learn in the next few moments could truly change the way you look at money, work, and opportunity. But for this message to keep reaching you, and to wake others up too, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below with what you're committing to change today, and share this video with someone who needs to hear this right now. Let's keep going. Now that you've written down your biggest financial goal and what you're willing to offer in return, it's time to go deeper. Because paper accepts anything. But your mind only believes what you repeat, feel, and act on as if it were already real. Hill suggested you read these statements several times a day. This isn't magic, and it's not empty self-help. It's conscious mental programming. Your brain is a repetition machine. Everything you do on autopilot today was once something you learned. So why not reprogram it with what you actually want? If you grew up hearing that money is hard, or that wealth is for bad people, or that you weren't born for success, those ideas became your mental script. And that script is quietly running your financial life. The result? You avoid opportunities, sabotage your own progress, and settle for far less than you deserve. Here's the secret. You can rewrite that script. You can create a new internal dialogue, a new pattern of thought that makes room for abundance. It's not just about thinking positively. It's about thinking with purpose. Imagine an architect starting a building with no blueprint. It would be a disaster. And yet, that's how most people try to build their financial lives, with no clarity, no direction, no plan, just hope. But hope alone doesn't pay the bills. Repeating your vision of success every day is not a waste of time. It's like sharpening the axe before cutting the tree. It means aligning your mind with the path you want to follow. Without that alignment, even the best opportunities go unnoticed and you keep going in circles. Look around you. Everything you see, this screen, this technology, your daily routine, was once imagined in someone's mind. And the only difference between those who create and those who consume, between those who lead and those who follow, is the awareness of their own power to choose. What do you want to build in the coming months? More debt or more freedom? More stress or more control over your life? The choice begins with how you think, but it only becomes real when you take action. Most people believe they need money, time, or luck to start. But the truth is that what you need most is a decision and consistency. Starting from zero has never been the problem. In fact, the greatest names in history started exactly like that, with nothing but a clear idea and the determination not to quit. But here's something no one really talks about. The initial excitement fades. The thrill of a new goal, the butterflies of taking the first step, all of that disappears when the first challenges show up. That's when your mindset needs to stay strong. And that's why the exercise Hill proposed is so powerful. It's not about motivation, it's about creating a system of daily reinforcement from within. The human mind learns through repetition, and the body follows the mind. So organize your budget, cut one unnecessary expense, learn something that increases your income. These actions may seem small, but when done consistently, they lift you to a whole new level. It's like climbing a mountain. If you only look at the peak, it feels impossible. But if you focus on the next step, and then the next, one day you'll reach the top. And when you look back, you'll realize that the impossible was just a series of simple decisions you had the courage to keep making. If you want to take control of your finances, you need to stop seeing money as a mystery or a problem. Money is a tool, nothing more. It doesn't change who you are, it simply amplifies you. And if you learn to use this tool with intelligence, it can open doors that today feel completely out of reach. The problem is that many people treat money with emotion, not strategy. They spend to relieve stress. They buy things to feel better. Or worse, they completely ignore their financial reality and live as if later would be the best time to take care of it. But here's an uncomfortable truth. The more you postpone getting your finances organized, the more expensive it becomes in the future. Have you ever written down exactly how much you earn and how much you spend? Do you know how much you need to live with dignity and how much is being wasted on unconscious habits? Many people claim to be broke, but they spend hundreds of dollars every month on distractions that bring zero return. That's not a lack of income, that's a lack of priorities. And when you start prioritizing your finances, something magical happens. You realize you don't need to earn a fortune to start building freedom. You need clarity, discipline, and a mindset focused on growth. That includes building an emergency fund, even if it's just $10 a week, investing in knowledge before investing in assets, stopping the need to impress others, and focusing on building something real. Often, the turning point in financial life comes when you change just one question. Instead of asking, "How much can I spend on this?" ask yourself, "Does this bring me closer to or further from the life I want to build?" That simple filter changes decisions. It helps you say no to impulse and yes to purpose. And purpose, in the financial world, means having a clear vision of where you want to go, whether it's paying off debt, building security, gaining independence, or creating generational wealth. There's no magic formula, but there is consistency, and money responds to those who treat it with respect. If you can manage small amounts today, you'll be prepared to handle large amounts tomorrow. Remember, the secret isn't in how much you earn, but in what you do with what you have right now. Because someone who's disorganized with a little will be a disaster with a lot. The truth is, a person's financial life is a direct reflection of their mindset, habits, and discipline. It's not luck. It's not inheritance. It's not just the country they were born in. It's the accumulated result of decisions made every single day over the years. And most people spend their entire lives blaming the system, the economy, or other people, when what's really missing is taking control. It's about stopping the wait for external rescue and starting to act like someone who has already decided to build their own freedom, even if it takes time. Because it will take time. And that's okay. Rushing only ruins solid foundations. You can continue drifting through life, reacting to each bill that comes in, living paycheck to paycheck, and accepting any job that pays the bare minimum. Or you can use your mind as the most valuable asset you have. Financial education is the first step to get off the assembly line and into the game of those who build. Start small, with what you have, with what you know. But start. Study compound interest, understand what cash flow means, set real and achievable goals, set deadlines, track your progress, treat your finances like a business. Because deep down, that's exactly what you are. A venture with the potential to generate profit, expansion, and impact. And here's one last point that might sound simple but is truly transformative. Stop consuming content just for entertainment. Use this as a tool. Apply it. Reflect. Make adjustments. The difference between someone who changes and someone who only feels inspired is action. Napoleon Hill wasn't speaking to millionaires. He was speaking to regular people, just like you. And he said, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." But he also made one thing very clear. It only works if you do your part. Think, yes, but act with purpose, every single day. If this video gave you clarity, if it lit a spark inside you, don't let that fade. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment below what you're going to change in your financial life starting today, and share this with someone who needs to hear this message right now. Remember, freedom is not a prize you win. It's a state you build, and it all starts in your mind.